Greetings, folks. Today is Sunday, April the 14th, 2019. I'm Tom Lineweaver, and this is my normal commentary. I think you can see by the screen what my topic is going to be. You see, Ilhan Omar came to the United States. I don't know when. Timing is not something. I go by events. When I look at history, I look at history by events and not by dates, although sometimes you need the date. But anyway, she came here. She was born in Somalia. She came here as a refugee and eventually became a naturalized citizen of the United States, unlike Ted Cruz. Now, why am I bringing this up? Well, Ted Cruz, I've seen some articles and some videos about him condemning Ilhan Omar, saying she is anti-Semitic, which is not true. Of course, Ted Cruz is probably too stupid to understand what the word anti-Semitic means. And I've explained that over and over again. But you see, Ted Cruz is one of the biggest pro-Israel people in our Congress. And that's why he's attacking her. Anyway, so yes, she is a citizen of the United States. Ted Cruz was born in Canada. So by birth, he's Canadian. He never, ever became a naturalized citizen of this country. I cannot find anywhere where those naturalization papers exist. Besides, if he was naturalized, he wouldn't be a natural-born citizen. I mean, you can't be a naturalized, natural-born citizen. All right? So the guy was born in Canada and never, ever became a naturalized citizen. Hey, read the 14th Amendment. There are two ways of becoming a citizen of the United States: being born here or being naturalized. Ilhan Omar is a naturalized citizen of the United States. Ted Cruz is not. And yet he's allowed to sit on the U.S. Senate. That burns me up to no end. As if the Constitution means nothing. Well, the Constitution doesn't mean anything to a lot of people. Nothing. That's why he is allowed to sit in the U.S. Senate. That's why Obama was elected as president, because nobody cares about what a natural-born citizen is. That's why he was allowed to run for president when he's not even a citizen. So to the people, I don't know if anybody in the society cares about the Constitution. But the people that are allowing idiots like Ted Cruz run for president and sit in the U.S. Senate, they hate the Constitution. They don't believe in the Constitution. He's not only not a natural-born citizen, he's not a citizen. And he has the gall condemn her. I mean, this guy has multiple allegiances. One, he has an allegiance to Canada because he was born there. Two, he gets a lot of money from pro-Israel sources, so he has allegiances to them. He doesn't believe in the Constitution, or he would not be sitting in the U.S. Senate. He takes an oath. But if he really believed, if he really kept his oath, he would resign. And he's been lying about this for a long time. The man should be charged with fraud and put in jail for at least 20 years. And then expelled, exiled, never to come to this country again. He's an invader. So it's okay for an invasion from Canada, but it's not okay for anybody coming up from Mexico. What a double standard. A double standard. So she, at least, is a citizen, whereas Ted Cruz is not. So, Mr. Cruz, shut your hole. You don't have a right to condemn her. You don't belong in the Senate. You don't belong in this country. So get the hell out. Hey, Mr. Trump, why don't you deport him? That's because, you know, you have a double standard, Mr. Trump. You are a racist. You're against people coming from the southern border, but it's okay to come from the northern border. You Canadians can come here and run for political office. And that doesn't matter to you, Mr. Trump, does it? And what about conservatives? What about Rush Limbaugh? What about Sean Hannity? What about Glenn Beck and all the mess of you? Do you believe in the Constitution? Are you going to tell me that Ted Cruz is a citizen of the United States? Well, prove it. It's really amazing. It's really amazing. It seems like, I don't know. I'm going to keep listening to her to see if she cares about the Constitution. But at least one thing she does, she kept her oath of office, and she let us know about the unconstitutional way our government is working. You see, they are elected to represent the people of this country. They're not elected to represent Israel. They're not elected to represent Raytheon. They're not elected to represent Merck. All these big companies that have lobbies in Washington, D.C., and they are giving lots of money to these people for, election donations. I'd like to know where most of them come from with Ted Cruz. Anyway, folks, I sometimes feel like I'm wasting my time because I don't seem to be getting anywhere. I mean, there are a few people that agree with me, but society as a whole don't seem to care about the Constitution. And either we get back to the Constitution or we get rid of the federal government. We don't need them. All right. Okay, thank you for listening, folks. I hope you were listening. Yeah, she is a citizen of the United States. He is not. Thank you for listening.